finally packed up. This guy's pretty full. This guy's pretty full. Got a Red Bull for the road. Are you fired up, sir?
Just trying to survive, my friend. Trying to survive.
What's our chances this year?
Of what? Run out of gas or flat tire or something? Pretty damn good.
When you listen to 20 deer hunters in the February woods when it was quiet and nobody was there.
The big land.
What?
Of Wally World.
Ooh, jumbo. Well, you can't go to Florida without getting some oranges.
Made a big purchase today. Big cot. So we've decided that even if we don't kill a turkey, we're going to eat good. And we're going to enjoy ourselves a little bit. So made sure we got plenty of food at the Walmarts. Now Blake can't get my tailgate down. It needs to be up and down. It's probably wedged. Hey!
That's
A chainsaw? We finally did it. It was a miracle getting everything in there, but we're about to swap up a little driving duty. Blake smashed his finger.
Alright, give us 1 minute, please.
Let me get a number 6 with curly fries.
Buddy Jay here wants a number 6 with curly fries. Wait, I think that's the only fries they got, cuz.
Yeah. And
She want a drink as well?
Yeah, she'd like a
lemonade.
a lemonade.
Small, medium, or large?
Women.
Fries, drink.
Medium.
What time is it? 3:20 Eastern time. Pulled the old classic all-nighter.
Bye-bye, I love you.
He's on them. Go get him, son. Finally got out here. Trying to hit a few spots and find something. Mainly tracks. Any kind of sign or good looking areas that we can find. Saw a few hen tracks so far. Got probably 2 or 3 hours before dark, so maybe we can stumble up on something. It's supposed to rain at some point tomorrow and then be pretty after that, but the wind's supposed to blow about 15 miles an hour the whole time we're here. About to pick Blakeson up. So that'll be good.
I hate this place. I mean, I'm dead already. I ain't really do nothing. I mean, I was in there 10 minutes and I ran up. I mean, I'm creeping, you know, creeping. I don't want to make no noise. Get out of here. This big old joker wearing khakis and a damn tan shirt come busting up in there like looking for tracks and come right around me and walk right in front of me out his head. We got a hen on this road. She's walking this way. It's the day before season, so we're scouting around and we just ran up on a bunch of tracks. mixed gobbler, a bunch of hens. Well, we have a hen coming our way now. We're gonna see what she does. Maybe she has a longbeard with her, so I'm hoping so. Jay just said that actually a strutter did come out in the road with this hen. Are they coming this way? You're kidding. Jay's saying the strutter's 80 yards away. Facing the other way. Facing the other way, so hey, I don't know. I am super pumped, and I know I got chills right now because we need this break. We have been struggling in South Florida, but shoot, man, I got chills right now. There's a lot of boot tracks down this road, though, so I don't know about Jay, but I plan on being here about, I don't know, 1 o'clock in the morning. So I know I'm beating these people in here. Yes, baby, yes. Facing us. Good shot. Just to give y'all a little update, I think Blake updated y'all in the heat of the moment. Appreciate him doing that. We were making our way up this road to an area we wanted to check out. Started coming across some hen tracks. Came around a bend in the road. I was on the left side, Blake was on the right. I saw something up ahead. I thought it was a crow, but I said, let me do my due diligence. So I got my binoculars up, and there was a crow in a ditch up ahead. I was correct on that, but I looked past the crow and there was a hen about 50 yards past the crow on the left side of the road feeding towards us. So I hunkered down real quick, crawled over behind a bush, started watching. I couldn't see the right side of the road, but I kept thinking it'd be kind of odd if there was just a lone hen day before the season opened in a road calmly feeding. I guess she could be, but wishful thinking had me thinking otherwise. So she came towards us another 40 or 50 yards, and she disappeared to the right. Not too long after that, about the time I looked up at the road, at the same time I heard. I looked up and I saw a fan. Just on the right edge of the road, all I could see was the tips of the fan. I said, holy cow, that's a strutter. So I watched him. He strutted a few times, stuck his head up a few times and looked. Finally, he walked across the road to the left. Got a good look at him. Beautiful bird. Nice beard, spurs. Got over the edge of the woods on the left and just periscoped. Looked at 360 degrees for a couple minutes. Looked right at me a time or two, but I felt like I was hitting pretty well. Finally, he tucked his head, folded his wing, and went into the left. And I had a mosquito drilling me, so I dropped down out of my stance. When he couldn't see me, I scratched my mosquito real good. I looked back up in the road and he had cut back across, going left to right. Thought I heard something walking towards the road. Anyway, when I was watching the gobbler, he walked from left to right back across the road. I don't think he saw me. Never saw him again. So I decided I would just sit here until dark and see if I could hear him fly up. Blake got my keys, went back out, and he's going to try to get a different angle to see if he can drop a pin on him if he flies up. I'm hoping we can kind of roost him tonight.
Could be another hour before he flies up. Could be longer, I don't know. But I'm just watching this road to make sure he doesn't cross back over. That way if he doesn't gobble and we don't hear him fly up, I know which direction he is, roughly. Pretty exciting. Got a promising start. Turkeys just flew up. Straight through there. Heard 3, unless it was 2, and one of them swapped limbs. First one sounded like a gobbler. Second sounded like a hen. Third sounded like a gobbler, but it almost sounded like maybe he swapped limbs. It's probably not. 150. It's gonna be tricky to kill him. I don't really want to set up on this road because it's so far from him. But getting to him will be very, very tough this way. Because it's thick and it's going to be loud. Good thing is there's 2 of us, so we can hopefully surround him a little bit. Morning. I'm hoping we made it and nobody's out in front of us. So far so good, but we got up about 2:30. I don't know what time it is now, close to 3:30. Gobble time should be 6 to 6:15. We're going to try to close in on both sides of him and get close. Gotta just take our time. Creeping's going to be wet, thick. Good Lord willing, we'll be close to him. About to navigate this swamp. I slipped in here. If my pen is correct, I should be about 80 yards from him. If my pen is not correct, who knows? I'm just going to have to stay right here and wait to see what it looks like as it gets lighter. It's going to get dicey. Turkey's gobbling over there. That is not where I thought I roosted that bird. I don't know if it's a different one or the same one. I'm going to that one. I don't know, man. I don't know that I could be that far off.
So I want to explain what just happened real quick. Me and Blake went in there well before daylight. We got on either side of the gobbler that we had roosted, and he never gobbled when he was supposed to. One back over my shoulder behind me started gobbling his head off. So I told Blake I was going to go to that one and he was going to stay put on the original gobbler, assuming he was there close somewhere. So I made my way through the thick brush towards another cypress dome, probably 300 to 400 yards away. On my way to the other gobbler, I could hear another hunter approaching from a different direction. I also knew that I was much closer to the gobbler than that hunter and that I could be there first. So I got to the edge of the cypress dome, found this tall grass. I tried to sit down, but I couldn't see over the top of the grass, so I figured it would be better to stand up and try to call the gobbler to me. I started pretty aggressively because I know the other hunter was still coming, so I was trying to let him know that somebody was on the turkey, but at the same time get the turkey killed pretty quick. So I hit him pretty aggressively. He responded to me. I cut at him pretty good, and then I shut up for several minutes. I could hear the other hunter still approaching, circling around the right side of the dome. At some point in my haste to try to get the gobbler killed pretty quick, I deemed that the tree in front of me, about 5 steps in front of me to my right, was a little bit wider, more shoulder width, and I could hide behind it just a little bit better, in case the gobbler got around to the side of me and I had to maneuver around the tree. The one I originally set up on was pretty skinny. After I heard him gobble on his own, I made the decision to move up to the next tree. After that, the turkey never gobbled again. That being said, I very well could have bumped the turkey. I don't know that he could have seen me, or it could have been the other hunter coming around the other side.
I found him again. He's right there.
After the gobbler shut up the first time, I just stayed in the area. I dozed off by a tree, but I'm pretty sure I heard the other hunter circling all the way around the other end of the dome, so I felt like he was kind of out of the picture. Well, wouldn't you know it, about an hour later the turkey gobbled again on his own in a dome adjacent to the one that I was in. So I got up and made my way to the edge, let him gobble on his own another time or two, and I started tiptoeing in. I got to a spot where I could call and then move up about 20 yards, so I called. He responded to me twice. I tiptoed a little bit further and I sat down and I waited. I was trying to be very conservative on this approach since I felt like I had more time to spend with him. After I waited about 10 minutes and he gobbled several times on his own, I felt like I could get a little bit closer, so I started tiptoeing in his direction. This whole time I could see a pretty thick wall between us up ahead. I was trying to get to something a little more suitable for him to walk through.
Got on one, chased him and chased him and chased him, and I don't know where he is now. I think that first time either I bumped him or somebody else bumped him, because I would have bet anything the way he responded to my calling that he was coming. After a couple more gobbles, I kept thinking that the initial tree that I set up beside was not wide enough to hide me, and I felt like I needed to stand up because that grass was so tall. And so I moved up about 5 yards to a bigger tree, a wider tree, hoping that it may hide me a little bit better if he somehow got around to the side of me. Not but a minute or so after that, I don't know if I heard him gobble after I moved, but about a minute after I did that, I heard wing beats, and I looked over to my right and I saw some type of bird. It looked black and it looked kind of big, and I don't know if it was him or if it was one of them other weird birds. He never gobbled again after that. I waited a little while and then called. Then I heard somebody else calling, kind of in the same spot that I saw the bird fly. I heard somebody walking all the way around that thing calling. Could have been multiple people. Either I bumped him right there at the last second, which is frustrating, or somebody else bumped him, which is also frustrating. So I sat there for a while, got up, called, heard people calling off and on. Finally heard a gobble way off, so I started heading towards it. He was in the next dome over. Be willing to bet it's the same bird. I got in there and started making my way to him and got kind of close where I thought I could kill him. I called to him and he responded, and I kind of had a little setup and I waited. He kept gobbling in the same spot, so I moved closer. Kept moving closer and closer, and he would respond to my calling, but I wasn't trying to call a whole lot at that point. I was probably 80 from him, I bet. Waited on him to gobble again and never did. I was hesitant to call with him being that close. After a little while, the next time I heard him gobble, he was way off again, like he had done moved. And I almost wonder if he's not flying to from these cypress domes to another cypress dome, because the stuff that I just walked through multiple times, the snake would have a hard time getting through there. Just about concluded that I pretty much hate this place, just because it's so frustrating to navigate. Every step you take, you're fighting something, some type of vegetation and all of that sort of stuff, so it's aggravating. I don't want to complain too much because I got on the bird, had an opportunity. I might have blown it, not sure, but I'm somewhere in the vicinity of his last gobble, I think, but now the wind's picked up, so I don't know that I'm gonna hear him again today. There's supposed to be some rain coming. I would honestly like to get out of here and go eat me something. getting pretty hot, and I've got these, whatever these little things are, I got them all over me, like everywhere. They stick to your clothes. It's bad. I gotta pick them all off. Anyway, the initial bird we roosted never gobbled, so I left and went to this one, assuming it was this one. Called Blake as I was going to this one and told him I didn't see how I was that bad off on my pinpoint of the one that flew up. So a little while later Blake texted me and told me that I was not wrong, because there was one where we had initially set up this morning. He got on that bird and he's been on him all morning and hadn't killed him. Said he's been pretty frustrating to deal with. So, you know, things are better this year so far. We've gotten on a couple. We just hadn't closed the deal and still trying to learn to navigate some of this stuff. So the battle continues.
Well, as it turned out, Blake stuck with the bird all morning. It took several hours, but he finally played cat and mouse enough. Crawling around in the cypress dome with him, he finally got a shot on him. He told me all about the hunt, all the moves that were made, how ferocious the gobbler sounded from about 50 yards, gobbling in his face. I couldn't have been any happier for him. He worked his butt off for this gobbler, but it certainly felt like a group effort. The only thing that would have made it better is if I could have been there to witness it all go down.
Pretty windy this morning. I hadn't heard anything gobble. It's really hard to hear, so I'm just going to start prospecting in some of these cypress domes. Pretty loud. Heard nothing. I did just see two hawks mating in a tree. First time I've ever seen that. Blake texted me and told me he thought he said he heard one 4 times. Thought he was this direction. So I'm heading that way. He couldn't really pinpoint him though. But that's good news. That is like, that's the biggest cottonmouth I've ever seen.
That's the biggest cottonmouth I've ever seen in my life.
By far. That is a monster. Attempting to roost a bird that I got on the first morning. Been a pretty slow day. It's been really windy. Can't hear very far at all.
Now see it, it calls off.
You gotta do a hand turkey.
And then what do you do?
Beard hanging down.
That is not a turkey. The NWTS symbol though. Oh, I see the turkey now.
It's been windy as crap for 2 days. Makes it really hard to hear anything when it's so windy. So I'm trying to go into an area where there's a little sign and see if I can't roost one or something. Gotta make something happen. I got basically this evening and tomorrow morning left, and then we go back home. So time's winding down. Finally got in a pretty good area. I know there's gobbler tracks in here. Got a little cover. I can see a little bit. Just gonna sit here until dark and wait. Maybe I'll hear one gobble or fly up. Pretty sure somebody's calling down there. No news is bad news in this case. Heard one a few times this morning, headed to it, never really pinpointed it, but knew kind of the area. Got to a spot, had a hen in there cutting up. I assumed she was with him. Blake got behind me about 100 yards and we were calling back and forth, and we decided to just sit down and wait a little bit and see what happened. I'd made me a little natural blind just to give me a little cover. About the time I bent over to get something to sit back down in my blind, somebody shot. Shot was all over me. I couldn't really tell where it was at, but I'm pretty confident that was the bird we were on. So, pretty much sucks, but I ain't giving up yet. We gotta leave pretty soon today. Trying to give it another good effort before I go. So I'm back at the dome that I got on the first bird of the hunt. I don't know if he's in here or not. I'm gonna call a little bit and see what happens. About to get up and start making my way around some of these. Do my best to be quiet and call in a few of them. nuts. I ain't got a choice but just take it to the house. I'll leave y'all with this. You think South Florida is all cypress and sage and manicured pastures? You need to come check this out. I have zero path of least resistance. I've got these things all over me, and somehow I've got to make it out there. I've been within about 50 yards of an open spot for probably the last 30 minutes, and I can't get there. Buzzards are already circling me. They know. I don't know why I keep coming back.